Hey everyone, it's Jen from You So Much, and today we're going to talk about writing an email that your customer is addicted to, that they cannot wait to get, and they can't wait to see your name in their inbox so they can open up your email and see what you're talking about today. Now, I know we all sign up for a lot of different lists, right? And some people that we get emails from, we cannot wait to open, and others are like, okay, they're going to send another coupon today. I'm not going to open that one until I'm ready to go to the store and use that coupon, right? So the key is to be able to craft emails that are so compelling, they are addictive. And I want you to think right now, if there's anybody that you get emails from on a regular basis that you really almost open up every single one of them. I have a couple of them, and they're both geared towards copywriters. And that's because I'm a copywriter, so it's something that I'm interested in. I really can't wait to get these emails because they're so good. Now, emails are one of the best ways to nurture your audience. If you think about it, someone might come across your website and sign up for your newsletter or your email list through an opt-in or a freebie with a lead magnet, which, by the way, if you haven't seen my video on lead magnets, I highly suggest you go watch that right now. But once they sign up for your freebie and they get on your list, the idea is that you have a chance now for them to get to know you better. You can communicate with them. You can ask them questions. You can educate them about your brands, about your products. Because if they are on your website for the very first time and they haven't heard of you before, but they were compelled enough to sign up for your list, then you want to continue to nurture them so that when they get to know, like, and trust you more and they need your product or service, you're going to be the first one that they think of. And I know a lot of people say that email is dead now, that people are using Facebook groups and Instagram and all these other things. And I do think there's lots of other social media platforms that work really, really well. But don't forget, your email list is your list. It's the one thing that you definitely, if you have someone's name and address and they've said it's okay for you to send them messages, that is gold, because you don't own the list that you have, the followers you have on Facebook or on Instagram or on Twitter. You are relying on that platform to allow you to continue using it. Whereas with your email list, it's a direct relationship with your clients. And so I highly suggest that you use both, because there are going to be people who prefer to get emails from you, and there are going to be people who prefer to use Facebook to communicate or to use Twitter to communicate. So the idea is, if you're using more than one, you are multiplying your chances of communicating with your ideal customer. And also, don't go crazy and use all of them either, because that's just too much work. Unless you have a team of people working for you, I highly suggest you focus your efforts on the ones that definitely get you the best results. And if you haven't tried email yet, then you really should give it a try, because it's truly one of the best ways, like I said, to have direct one-on-one contact with your customer. So the first thing I suggest that you do is think about the format and consistency. So how often are you planning on sending this email? Will it be every single day? Will you send it to them once a week? And will it be a typical newsletter style? Will it be a recap of what you put on your blog or your YouTube channel? Or maybe you'll highlight some of the top things that you've seen around the interwebs that week. There's a couple of people I'm subscribed to that do that, and I love those. That's another thing to think about too, is if you are going to send it to them every single day, for example, then maybe it's something where the format's a little shorter. Like Seth Godin, for example, he does a blog every single day and sends an email of his blog, and it's not super long. Some days there's a few times when it's a little bit longer than other days, but for the most part, it's a couple paragraphs. It's super wise, but super succinct. Another one that I get that I love is the Notes from the Universe. I don't know if any of you have signed up for that, but if you haven't, I highly recommend it. It's at tut.com, and basically it's a really feel-good message that comes from the universe every single day, and it's usually just a couple of lines. Again, just like Seth's, every once in a while it's a little bit longer, like for holidays and things like that, he tends to make it extra long and extra special, but really it's wonderful, wonderful feel-good positivity into your inbox every single day, and it's the one that I cannot wait to open every single day. And then if you are going to send more than one a week, then maybe you want to send different things. For example, maybe on one day you want to send a YouTube video, another day it's a blog post, or maybe the other one is going to be a story of something that happened in your life, right? Sometimes the format will be determined by the consistency, so think about both of those in tandem. Then the next thing I want you to really think about is, what is the objective and call to action? So I highly recommend when you send out emails that every single time there is some kind of call to action. Maybe the call to action is just to go to your website, Or one thing I really highly do recommend is that you sell something in that email every single time. Now, you don't have to have the whole email about whatever it is you're selling, but it could be a footer on every single email. It could be maybe you have an ebook on Amazon and you want to talk about that. Maybe you have a workshop coming up and you want to tell people about that. Or maybe you want to talk about a limited time offer you have for your subscribers only. And that will make your subscribers feel good about being on your list. Another thing that I highly recommend, if you can do this, is when you send out an email, consider putting something in that email that's not anywhere else, that they can't find on your blog, that they can't find by going to your social media, that they have to opt in to get it, because that is going to make people more likely to sign up if they know that there's goodies that they're getting for being a subscriber that they're not going to get just if they go to your blog and read it. I know some people may not sign up for something if they think, oh, I'm just going to go back to her blog and read it all the time because I really love it. And there are a couple blogs that I do that. I go all the time and I'm pretty consistent about it, but that means that blog has to be really epic every single time. Offering something exclusive to your subscribers is a really powerful way to make sure that they're on your list and they're getting your communications and offers that you're sending out on a regular basis. Once you've got that figured out, then you can get going on the actual writing of the email. But before you actually write the email itself, I highly encourage you to come up with a subject line first, because the subject line is going to make a huge difference on whether or not they're going to open that email. So if you think about it, it's kind of like the headline, and that if you go to a website somewhere and you see a headline that doesn't apply to you or that you're not interested in, you're probably not going to continue reading that blog post. Having a good subject line on your email is super important. And so one of the things that I always suggest to people is to just go look at your own inbox. And if you're like most people, you actually have a couple different email addresses, right? I know I personally have like 5. I know. And one of my email addresses is actually the one where I sign up for special offers. So that's a great one for me to go to just look and see what all the different subject lines are, and just notice which ones catch your attention, which ones make you want to open them, and then really examine why. What is it about that email subject line that makes you go, oh, I really want to open that? And just like a headline, the main thing that will make you want to open that is that it will get your attention, it will drive curiosity, it will resonate with you. It's with something about you that you can relate with, that you're interested in. Like for me, it might be copywriting or it might be dance. Then I'm more likely to open it, right? And it's going to speak to their fantasies. It's going to have some kind of promise of a better future for their lives. And just like writing a headline, take your time. Take your time to write that subject line, because it's really more important almost than the email itself. Because if they don't open up your email, then they're not going to see all that stuff that you wrote in there. Okay, so now that you have the subject line, you want to write the content of the email. And so what I typically do is write down a bunch of ideas of what kinds of content I want. And now that you already kind of know what formats you want to do and how often you want to send them, and you've got the subject line and you've got the call to action, it should come together pretty easily. And you can ask them questions by email. You can educate them on a specific product or service that you're working on. You can tell them about a project. You can recommend a friend's project, right? Or an affiliate product. There's so many things you can do on email. And then the very last tip I'll give is to have fun. Have fun. As I've been saying all along, you want to have fun and give value. And it's so important, because if you're having fun writing these emails and they seem like they're fun-loving, then they're going to have fun reading them. And as always, it's super important to understand exactly who your ideal customer is, who your hero is, and what journey that they're going through, and what their goals and aspirations are, what their struggles are, so that you can speak to those in all of your communications, including your emails. So if you want to know more about how to figure out what your customer story is, sign up for my email course. It's free and it's only 5 days and it's super fun. I followed my own advice and made them fun and compelling and super valuable and useful for you. I'll put the link up above and down below. And if you guys have any thoughts or questions about this, leave it in the comments below. As always, don't forget to write down your own fantasies, because words make it real. Thanks, you guys. We'll see you again tomorrow.